we get started, just a couple of things up front. First and foremost, if you have not yet, please be sure to like, rate, subscribe, share. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you're listening, just make sure to subscribe, follow, definitely rate. It helps us out. And then while you are browsing the web and doing everything else, if you could go to w.gg. If you're somebody like me, you need coffee all the time, you're going to see me sipping on this one. I try to limit myself because it's just not good. It's 4:15 now, and this is second or third cup, and it's a big cup. So you want to cut it back a little bit, get some clean, jitter-free energy. You can go to Dubby, get yourself a tub of energy powder, and just mix it up. I ran out, which is why I'm doing this. Usually when I have that, I'm good for like one cup of coffee and then that. So Dubby.gg, they got a lot of good flavors. They got new shakers out right now. Hat is a Dubby hat. And just a whole bunch of other stuff. I got a mouse pad right here that you can't see. Really good company, really good stuff. So w.gg and use promo code Chewin at checkout for 10% off your order. Oh, we are here. I skipped what is this? 2 weeks in a row that I skipped. As you can see, the background is back to what it was before the last like 2 or 3 episodes. That's kind of why I had to skip. So currently still doing a lot of work upstairs, which is where this will be set up. And it's coming along. Probably next episode after this, it'll be. So if you go back to last week's episode or the last episode I uploaded, and you look on YouTube, it's like this ugly green paneling. I'm hoping next week you'll see that same paneling without the green on it, and then eventually it'll be painted and whatnot, and then go from there. But right now, I just wanted to get out of that space. It's covered in dust. We got a new setup here, and I just don't want to mess. I just don't need the dust. I got rid of that old Mac that I was complaining about, upgraded to a PC. So I just don't want to clog this thing up with dust and sand. And my lungs are fine. I'll clog lungs up. Everything inside's fine. Just like not my workstation. You're not gonna do that. But where do we leave off on this damn pod show that we got going on? I think New Year's. I think it was like a birthday and New Year's wrap up. We got a couple cool things coming up. I'm hoping to get Black Braid on, John and Black Braid, Mateo of Bewitcher, and then so those two are confirmed. Just I don't have a date locked because they just, they're musicians. Bewitcher I think is on tour right now, and John is a solo artist that does black metal, so he's constantly writing and whatnot. So I'm working with their people to get something scheduled, but they're confirmed guests, just no dates locked in. And then next week, I have Jay March, former NFL player. I guess technically NFL free agent, but he'll tell you himself he's not really looking. So he's going to come on. We're going to do something different. It's going to be, it's still going to be jokey because of who I am. I can't help myself. But we're going to focus on like men's mental health and specifically the mental health of athletes. Because these guys are in a position where it's like, NFL, MMA, they're like macho, fucking alpha male, tough guy sports, but they go through shit all the time. So that'll be fun to have him on and get his perspective, considering he's played in the NFL and he is a man. So that'll be interesting. Let's wrap up Extreme Music Awards. I talked about it a lot on here. So first, let's get this right here. So this right here was a gift from Lenny Fletcher. He's been on here. He's been talked about. His art's been talked about. I purchased this from him just to like support him. I was like, yeah, I'll hang that up somewhere. And then he gifted me this old dirty bastard with like the grill and everything. And I'll take a picture of it if you're on YouTube, zoomed in so you can get like some of the details. But I wasn't expecting that. We went to the Extreme Music Awards. I met up with him there, and he was like, "Oh, I got your painting that you bought." And I was like, "All right, cool. It's in your car." Yeah. So after the awards, I walked with him to his car, and he pulls out a bag, and like this is wrapped up in like wrapping paper, like a Christmas present. And he goes, "Yeah, this was supposed to be for Christmas, but I didn't see you, and so here you go." And I opened it up, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay." So this was, I said like, "Oh, when I get the space done, I'm gonna need like wall art because I got like jerseys, I got some South Park stuff, I got some Cowboy stuff, some sneakers that I'm gonna put up, but like I don't have art." And Lenny Fletcher art on Instagram He's an artist. So I was like, I'll get the little guy off you, and then I'm gonna commission probably like an Old Dirty Bastard or something to put up with. I have some Old Dirty Bastard stuff to hang up too, and he just remembered that, and he painted me that for Christmas and gifted it to me. So shout out to Lenny. It's really cool. Like I said, I'll do a close up picture of it and slap it over my face here while I'm describing the whole situation so you guys can see it. So the Extreme Music Awards was fun. As a sponsor, I got in for free. I wasn't expecting that, even though I guess it does make sense. So Mike messages me about 2 days before the event, and he says, "Hey, your sponsor pass. You get one sponsor pass. I don't have it on me. I don't even know where I put it, but it's just like a lanyard, basic like tour lanyard if you were in a band or whatnot. And it's just a lanyard. It's got all the sponsors on it, the music awards and whatnot. Same thing. I could put a picture up on here, like I'm going to do for the Old Dirty Bastard. But I just wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, that's cool. It makes sense. So me and my wife went, and you go. So we got there early, and still parking was like, we're doing laps. We're like, God damn it. But you go and you're waiting outside, same shit as any other show you go to. And as soon as you go in, you get to, I pick up my pass, I walk in, and there's a woman there just taking pictures. It's legit. I'll post a picture of me and Lenny here. If you're on YouTube, you can see it. It's legit like a backdrop, like almost like a red carpet type thing, which is the point of it. That's what they wanted it. They kind of wanted it to feel like the red carpet. I'm using quotes here because, it is what it is. But that was the point of it, is to feel like that. So you go, she's got like 3. If you go to extrememusicawards.com, all the pictures are posted. They're also posted. I'll put it in the links. I'll put it in the bio of this episode so that you can go look at all those pictures and kind of see the event from her lens, because that's all I got for you. But it was cool to see, friends that I haven't seen in a while, friends I don't see all the time. Lenny, obviously, I talk to every day, but I don't get to see him all the time. John Dorn, Concrete, all those guys, Invoke Thy Wrath, those guys were there. Obviously, a bunch of local bands. That's what the whole point of the event was to celebrate extreme music in and around Albany, New York. So it was cool to see a bunch of people that I don't typically see. I haven't seen Mike since we recorded our episode, so talked to him for a little bit. And it was just, they gave out these awards for everything, and it was cool to watch these guys have to give a speech, because you can tell these guys aren't used to giving speeches. They're like, every single person was just like, I wasn't expected to win. This is fucking cool, and I'm drunk. And it was just like, hell yeah, that's how you're supposed to accept an award, I guess. Because I wouldn't know what to say either. Like, I don't prepare for fucking sitting down in front of a camera and talking, even though I know I'm going to do it every week. I can't imagine preparing to accept some sort of award. So I get where they're coming from. It is super awkward. It was also the first the first annual Extreme Music Awards. So you didn't really know how it was going to go. The guest presenters were pretty cool. We had, members of Hatebreed, Overkill, fucking, I already forget, dude. I already forget. Swear to God, I already forget. But just go to musicawards.com for all that. But it was fun. I did enjoy it. I think next year it'll be even better because, Fuzz, Mike, all those guys, they know what went right with the event, and they know what they think. Now, I'm not saying there was anything that could have been better, but they know what they think will make it even better, So I feel like that's important, is to just get your first inaugural thing out of the way, and then you just build on it, build on it, build on it. It's like anything. Cole Beasley was talking about this. He raps now. He's retired from the NFL. So, of course, he's doing what every other athlete does, and he's rapping. And he's like, do you guys hate when, he goes, this is just for musicians. He's like, you listen back to your old stuff, and then you listen to the stuff you're writing now, and you're like, it's garbage. And I'm like, yeah, that's not even just music. That's, if I listen to jokes from when I first started to when I was more comfortable writing and developing jokes, I'm like, that's way better. First episode of I go back to Dangerously Average Dudes to this, it sounds way better. It's a little bit more flow. There's more substance, I guess. And if that tells you anything with how I do this, there's more substance here than there would have been there. Anything creative, anything that has a noticeable what am I trying to say? Almost like a noticeable leap. If you have anything where you can look at day 1 to day 20, even episode 1, episode 20, track 1 of your first album, track 1 of your third album, everything's going to be like, you can kind of hear, if you're doing it the right way, you can kind of hear like it's growing step by step by step. So I think that's what I'm trying to get at with the Extreme Music Awards is they got the first one out of the way. They know what they thought was right. They know what they think could be better. And now they just get to gradually build it. And 5 years from now, when they're doing the Extreme Music Awards 5, it's like, you guys remember our first one of these when it was this? Yeah, that was shit. And it's like, it really wasn't at the time, but I see why you're saying that now. So that's what I'm getting at with them. I'm not saying anything was good or bad about the event. I'm just saying I know how it is. They know how it is. When you start something and you continue with it, you're just going to gradually get better if you're doing it the right way. Oh, what else? Cowboys and Bills both suck at football. I'm a Cowboys fan. My wife and her family are Bills fans, so we both are now out of playoffs. And I'm in a shitty situation because I trash Lion fans, right? Obviously, like their whole bitching about the eligible thing. I trash them, and they're still in it, and they're playing the Niners, who I fucking hate. So it's like, I don't want either of the NFC teams to win the Super Bowl. That's all there is to it. I wanted the Bucs to be in this position. I can't even say I would have been fine with the Packers, but it would have been Lions if they weren't such a whiny bitch organization and their fans weren't whine asses. Like, you guys should be used to losing. I don't understand why you're throwing a fucking fit over this. You're still in playoffs and you're bitching and you're milking this whole eligible receiver thing. So I don't even feel bad that I don't feel bad about not, like, they're putting up maps and like everybody who wants the Lions to win, and it's like all of the United States except like fucking Minnesota, Chicago, whatever. And then I'm like, no, fuck off. I don't want to win. I don't want the Niners to win. I somehow want neither one of them to win, but I'm in a position where one has to. If I had to choose my Super Bowl, it would be the Lions and Ravens. Nothing against. I'm not even one of those guys who are like the Chiefs are just too successful now because that's what you're supposed to be. But I'm a Lamar fan. I like the Ravens. I think they're like one of the last few teams that plays like that old school type defense. So I think it would just be more entertaining. I honestly thought that the Ravens and Bills would have been more entertaining than the Ravens versus the Chiefs, but I don't know. I hope the Ravens win, and I just really cannot stand the Niners. They're like, it goes them and then Eagles for me. And people are like, well, Eagles are division rivals. Like, yeah, but Niners are like a true rival. So it is what it is. I don't want the Niners to fucking, and I really don't need to see Niners versus Chiefs again. Like, what, can we get a different fucking Super Bowl? That's why I wanted, it would have been cool if it was like Tampa, obviously Dallas, but like put your own fucking fandom aside. I would have much rather see like Baker Mayfield and Tampa, even though Tampa was just in it, but it wasn't Baker Mayfield. It'd be cool to see him and then do like the Texans with Stroud. I know everybody else was just like Lions and Texans because then finally one of them gets a ring, but still fuck the Lions. Circles back to me just being a hater. And Lions have good players, and I like Dan Campbell, even though I think that people confuse overly emotional with hard nose. I don't think he's really a hard nosed guy. I think he's a big softy, but he just gives like tough guy speeches, and he's super invested in his guys, as you should be. But he's like a big over emotional teddy bear that gives a tough guy speech occasionally. That's how I feel about Dan Campbell. I like Dan Campbell. I liked a lot of their players. I just don't like. I want their fans to continue to be sad. That's all that is. And the Niners is like, you have a fucking stacked team. You're supposed to be here. If you weren't here, and I get it, that people are like, well, Cowboys had 9 All-Pros. It's like, Cowboys had problems all year. Eagles had problems all year. I thought the Eagles were frauds at 10-1. Like, these guys, and the Cowboys, when I would point out their problems, people would be like, oh, you're just one of those pessimistic fans. It's like, no, they can't stop the fucking run. And fucking they only play man coverage. The moment man coverage goes away and they go to zone, which sure enough they did because they fucking think they're smarter than everybody, it all goes to shit. So I don't understand how people couldn't predict these problems is what I'm getting at. And the Eagles, the way they were winning, it's just not sustainable. You can't squeak by wins all the time. If you're constantly in one-score games, eventually that one score is going to sway the other way. And sure enough, they got fucked up toward the end of the season. And not like fucked up as in blown out by a lot of people, but fucked up as in you guys started 10-1 and now you don't even have a lead in the division. And then you brought that into playoffs and everybody was like, oh, we're going to win playoffs though. You lost right away. You were done too. So it's like, and I love it because it's the same thing. They clowned, I think it was the Bills game. Eagles fans were coming at me just nonstop clowning them for losing to the Bills. And then they lost to Seattle, maybe. I'm probably getting all these teams mixed up, and then they lost. Then, oh, you guys are one and done. You guys are one and done. We played first, bitch. Guess what? You lost. You guys, they blow their load way too fucking early. And it made it a bit better. I'm not even one of those fucking fans who gets like mad when their team does it advance because it's like, I don't care. I like sports and I have a team that I root for, but I'll never be one of those overly invested, overly emotional people. I'll live tweet during the games. I got, Cowboys players that I talk to. I got, I'm openly a fan, but I'm not like punch my TV, fucking don't talk to me tomorrow at work. I'm going to be in a pissy mood. Fucking, I'm not one of those fans. These guys don't pay my fucking bills. I'm not a Cowboys content creator. I'm not invested in these guys. I'll probably never go to a fucking Cowboys home game. I don't give a fuck like that. You guys could not. I can't put myself in a position to root for a bunch of men that aren't my fucking family. Like, my son was out there in a jersey, I'll be a little bit more invested. But guess what? He's not. I don't know these fucking guys like that. They're acquaintances. I'm gonna have a former guy on next week, but like, that's it. They're not. Can't get too emotional and are they winning? Are they losing? It's gonna affect my mood of my day. People that do that, it just drives me insane. I'll clown them when they lose. I'll clown them when they win. I'll fucking praise them when they win. I'll praise them when they lose. It's just like, that's it. And I feel like I take that approach with everything, and it's probably not a great approach to have with everything, but control what I can and just kind of vibe with the rest, baby. That's what I do with quite anything that I can. And I think that's something we'll probably talk about with, is just like, it's good to see just other people's perspectives and how they deal with good and bad news. I feel like I deal with everything the same. I just kind of let it just roll. I don't really have like an over emotion thing. I'm not a super emotional person in both the good and bad. If I'm excited for something, you can kind of see it in my face, but I don't know. I just don't get too hyped for things and I don't get too bummed about things. If like I get super bad news, I kind of just go quiet and shut down for a little bit and then I just bounce back. If I get great news, I don't know. I don't really show. It's just never been my thing. I'm pretty stone-faced about everything. And people I feel like I've talked about this before, but for new listeners, it's like when you would get a gift as a kid, it would just seem like I was being ungrateful. It's like, no, I just don't, I'm not a super excitable person. And I probably get that from my dad, because he would just be like, oh, that's fucking cool, man. And that's it. And it's like, yeah, that is fucking cool, man. And that's it. Because that's what it is. It's fucking cool, man. And then you move on. This fucking coffee's got me short of breath here. It went down the wrong tube, and I'm trying to hide it, and I gotta take a sip of water. What else? We're getting a puppy because I love chaos. I might have talked about that. I don't remember. Well, we got a name for him now. We're gonna name him Little Dakota, Little Dacky Dak. We'll bring a Dak here, dude, and then he's gonna get traded. So it's whatever. Dakota's a cool name regardless of fucking Prescott. Fuck you, Dak. That's a joke. I hate the whole. I'm talking a lot of sports for somebody who really doesn't care that much, but like the whole narrative that goes with things when your team loses all year. Oh, all pro Dak Prescott. Oh, MVP Dak Prescott. That's our quarterback. That's our quarterback. He has a bad game. Sure, it's the fucking worst game to have a bad game in because you're going home if you lose. But like he has a bad game and it's like, I mean, we should just cut our losses. We just got to trade him. We just got this. And it's like, dude, I can understand if you guys are saying that from a business standpoint and you like actually thought these things. But now you're just being emotional. And this is what I was talking about with overly emotional fans. You don't actually want to trade him. If he comes out and he puts up 5 touchdowns week 1, you're gonna be like, that's my fucking quarterback. You're emotional right now. That's literally all this is. CeeDee Lamb's mom is talking about it. It's like, he helped your son break records this year. They and that's without like them having a great connection in the beginning of the year. Like the Jets game, they had a good connection, but in the beginning, like the first 5-6 weeks, it was like, oh, they can't find their identity. They don't know what to do. And then it was just after that, it's like force feed Lamb, get him these records. It's like overall the season 12-5. Mike McCarthy, another 12-5 season for him. There's a reason they brought him back. Deron Bland, records. CeeDee Lamb, records. Who else? Was Dak Prescott any franchise records? I don't remember if he was. But there was like record-setting guys on this team, and everybody's like, blow it up. And I'm fine with, you got a couple options. You brought Mike McCarthy back, and I posted this. If you bring Mike McCarthy back, that means you think you can win. That's all it is. If you didn't think you could win, you wouldn't have brought him back. But now you have to do more than that, right? Because there's a lot of guys going to free agency. There's a lot of team needs, like linebackers definitely a need. Defensive tackles definitely a need. You're probably going to need a running back because Pollard, I don't think, comes back. And I'm not a believer in a one running back system. I want splits anyway. So I like Dowdle, but I want him splitting with somebody. I like Nick Chubb, and I want him splitting with people. I hate the idea of just running one guy into the ground. I'll never do that. So there's team needs. But right now they need to focus on, if you brought McCarthy back, you're probably going to extend Dak. Now you need to build the team, which is the issue because we don't have a real GM. We let the owner do everything. And what happens when the owner's allowed to do everything? Nothing gets done because there's no fucking punishment. If you have a GM on payroll, then it's like, okay, now do your fucking job or I'm going to fire you. We don't have that. So Jerry Jones just gets to fucking count his money. And he's not even the biggest issue. The biggest issue is his fucking son. But I'm just thinking the options were fire McCarthy, fire Dan Quinn, talk to Dak Prescott about his no trade clause and say, is there any team you would be willing to go to? Yes, I'll reach out to them. We'll see if we can get a trade done for you. Because he has the clause. He balls in his court because you guys took too long to get a deal done. And then the other option is blow it up. But if I'm blowing it up, I don't want Parsons on the team, Lamb on the team, Dak on the team. I'm saying blow that shit up. Diggs' deal's already done. He's going to hang out. Bland's there. He's going to hang out. But, like, if you're going to really blow it up, give me the picks. Give me all that shit. Because you guys don't know what blow it up means. Getting rid of 3 guys and then blowing it up. And you're talking about getting rid of guys like just Dak, but keeping Lamb and keeping Micah. No, bitch. Can't have it that way. If you want to really blow it up, you got to get rid of your best players because that's how you get your best draft picks and that's how you get returns. So don't say blow it up and then name 3 guys. I want every jersey that I have that's going to be hung up, I don't want on that fucking team anymore. That's blowing it up. And I don't think people are ready for that. I know like a handful of guys who say that shit and mean it, and I'm one of them. But I'm also fine with, and people are like, oh, you're playing both sides of the fence. No, I just see it both ways. I'm fine with blowing it up, but I'm also fine with running it back. 12-5 again isn't bad. It's just it's got to come to the postseason. So that's enough sports talk. We're about to do a lot of that fucking next week. We're about to do a lot of that fucking next week, and I can't stand football. It's my one group chat. That's all anybody talks about because it's the only thing we have in fucking common. And I'm like, I don't think you guys realize I don't love football the way you guys probably think I do. It's just the only thing I can fucking talk about with you people. Only thing I use Twitter for is that and just throw away jokes. That's always funny to me because I have like legitimate, like, you know, March follows me. Ben Bailey from the Cash Cab follows me. And like, I give a couple sports opinions and there's more, and then it's just like something random. Like I'll post a clip from this and it's just like, what's the worst candy to stick up your ass? And it's like, bro, why do I follow this fucking guy? I don't know. I don't think post things. I don't think before I talk. I just do and do. That's it. There's no thinking. I like to just talk and then it's like, what the fuck did you just say? I don't know. It's what, you know, I drive a lot for work and I have like a mount on the vent, whatever. So I could just like press record and just blabble. And this is only if I'm like, you know, driving up the street or like I said, I people look at their phone while driving. It drives me insane. I don't care how good of a driver you think you are. Don't do it. You're a dickhead. Yeah, I've had friends and fucking people that I know drive motorcycles, and they're not one of the assholes that do 120 and a 35, and yet they're still getting hit because fucking Susan can't get off her cell phone. So I'm not one of those assholes. I don't like when people look at their phone when driving. But I just when I fucking do drive and I fuck around, I send Jake mostly. I'll just send him like raps. He's like, bro, why don't you rap on your pod? And it's like, I don't know if you know what I rap about. I can't just rap while on the pod, and here's why. Hold on, I'm gonna do it. I'll post I'll post something that I sent him. Let me see what this one is. I gotta make sure this is one that I can share. We're not gonna do that one. We'll do this one. Why not? All right. So he's like, why don't you rap on the pod? And I'm like, this is why I don't rap on the pod, because this is not an acceptable thing to even do or say. But here we go. I'll try to get it close enough. I got to get like that Rick Glassman shit where the phone goes right to the phone computer. He's got to teach me a thing or two.
I'm a blind barber. I'll fuck up your cut. I'm in your trap. I'm in your butt. And I'm doing what I want. I bust a nut. Ain't gonna pull out until I'm done. Maybe a little bit. Put it in your back. Cause I wanna embarrass you. You smoking crack? Let me get a hit. Let me get some. Wait, don't look at me. I'm about to come, and I don't wanna look at you, you ugly fucking prick. You're gonna make me lose my boner. Oh, I lost my boner. Oh, I gotta get it back up. Oh, what the fuck can I do? Oh, let me look at that butt. Oh, it's looking back at me. Oh, it's looking so nasty. Oh, I wanna have sex with it again. I'm hard. Yeah, let me back in that butt. And I swear to God, don't turn around, slut. You little fucking asshole bitch. Making me look at your mug. I wanna see the asshole. And I wanna see the back of your sack. But I don't wanna see your face, so you better not look back at me. Oh, yeah, I'm back in it. I feel vicious. I feel like a menace.
So anyway, what can you do? I like, that's the stuff that I do. I just like, and that none of it's like, I don't think like, oh, what can I send Jake? Okay, menace, but sack. No, I just hit record and then I just go and I flow and I coast. And all in all, I'm not bad, but it always comes back to the same thing. It's always dicks and butts and nuts and sacks and cracks, and that's all it is. And I'm sure my father's proud of me. I'm sure he's whatever that is. I hope that came in clear enough where people understand how ridiculous it is. But I don't know. I have fun with it, and Jake would love for me to do more of that on here. But I'm like, dude, people can only take so much of that. That's not even just like, bro, you're being weird. Like, bro, you're fucking being insane. Only me and you find that funny. The fact that I even recorded that and put it on here is something within itself. I don't know what's going to possess me to do that. It might get edited out, but it's not going to. I'm kidding. I don't care. What are you going to say? You're a fucking weirdo? Yeah, I am a weirdo. I just fucking do and say things. I don't know. I don't understand it either. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. I think that's a wrap. Lenny just sent me something that I'm not going to play. You want to talk about me fucking talking about raps and shit. The moment I see Lenny Fletcher sent you a video, I'm like, all right, let me go into the other room. But I think that's a wrap for this one. I think we can end it on quite literally a wrap. I'll see you guys next week with Jay March. And thank you for listening to this episode of Chewin the Rag. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you didn't, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because I like haters too. I'm a hater, and I want more haters for myself.